Diane, I loved hearing you sing in the movie yesterday.
Oh, you did?
Now, didn't early on when you were in school, didn't you play in
Yeah,
a band called the Roadrunners?
Wait a minute. How did you ever hear that? Well, you must have done some weird research there. I was, actually I was in acting school. You're not going to believe this. Yes, and I sang in a rock and roll band called the Roadrunners. Is that just insane? And Guy and Pip, they were brothers, and they backed me up with the singing, and I would sing things like Aretha Franklin's "To Love a Man," which was profoundly awful, as you can well imagine. I mean, nobody can sing like Aretha Franklin, and how dare I? But there I was trying.
Did you enjoy those gigs?
No, I didn't. I was too nervous. I was just too worried, and I couldn't sing like Aretha Franklin. Let's face it.
Now, you did something else that's quite interesting. Is you did a series of deodorant commercials.
Oh, I definitely did.
Yeah. Now, what creative stuff did they have you do in those spots?
I remember that I got this job, and I needed money. And it was early on, and it was called Hour After Hour. And I would run around in a tracksuit. It was just so insane, and bite my husband's ear, and oh, God. And they did well, and I did 3 of them. And then after me, do you know who did it? Susan Sarandon. She was the Hour After Hour girl. I was the first Hour After Hour girl, and then Susan Sarandon was an Hour After Hour girl. Too hilarious. And then she'd run around in a tracksuit.
You know, last night there were a couple of great scenes in the movie. One where you hit your therapist with some kind of foam thing. What did you two say to each other? Because that looked like it really hurt when you slammed her.
Yeah, she was such a sport. You know, Marcia Gay Harden, she was just great. She just let me hit her. It was a lot of fun for me. I think she got the bad end of the deal.
And yesterday there was also a scene where people applauded after the scene where you tell off your husband.
Oh, that's my favorite thing to do. Yeah. Can you believe it? That is so much fun. First of all, I, in my life, have used the word "I'm sorry" more than any other phrase. "I'm sorry" has been it. I really have used it way too much. And to be able to use it for other meaning, to basically be saying, "F you," I'm sure you're going to be using this, or to basically be saying, I want to kill you, I hate you, I want to destroy your life, and be saying only "I'm sorry" is about my favorite thing to do. That was a lot of fun. I really like that to do.
I couldn't help but think, how physically exhausted were you after that scene?
You know what? I really had to build myself up for that scene. I really did. You're absolutely right. It's not so easy, but then at the time when you're doing it, there's nothing more fun. Yeah, it's hard. Actually, but I mean, who cares? But it is. You have to pump yourself up. I'm always listening to music that makes me cry and get angry and mad and upset. And it's usually some female vocalist. I think at the time I was listening to Whitney Houston singing "I Will Always Love You." Can you believe that? I do that over and over. Everybody hates me, but I do it.
Seeing these 3 actresses on screen together, a real treat. I'm just curious, who is the best storyteller of the 3?
Oh, yeah, no. Oh, that's hard because Bet is, of course, a great storyteller. But Goldie's really a great storyteller, too. Very different technique. They both have a different technique. Bet's really biting and witty, and Goldie is very involved emotionally and can tell you some pretty amazing stories because she's traveled all over the world. She's a big traveler. I don't even get it, but she's really an adventurous soul. They have great stories, both of them.